Hello everyone. So welcome you all to Ashok Tutorials. My dear friends, we are going to talk today about something very special, something very common, something which you should know but may not know, something which even a small child understands and even an old man understands. So what is that we are going to talk about? So suppose before that, let us talk about some example. Now when I say Shillong, what do you understand? You understand that Shillong is a beautiful place, of course, but the thing you understand better is that the weather there is cold, right? You feel cold when we go to Shillong, right? Now, if I talk about Nongpo, what would you say? Is it cold like Shillong? No, it is not. It is hot, right? The weather is quite hot. So now, if I ask you that Shillong is cold and Nongpo is hot, how do you know? You are going to answer me that, sir, it is because of the temperature. You're going to say that Shillong have low temperature and Nongpo has got a very high temperature. That's why it is hot, right? But how did you know which device that you made used of to understand the differences between the temperature in these two different regions? So what is that device called? It starts with T. What is that? Yes, you are right. That is the thermometer. What is that? That is the thermometer. So thermometer is a device which we use to measure the temperature of a place or the temperature of human body or the temperature of the water or anything, right? So we use a thermometer. So how do a thermometer look like? It look like a pen, right? Elongated. So now, how many types of thermometers are there? There are basically two types of thermometer. How many? Two types of thermometer. So the first one is what? Before that, before explaining to you about thermometer, why am I talking about this particular topic today? It is because I have seen this question asked from thermometer portion. Many questions are asked in CTET, in AWES, and in KVS exams, and even in MTET exam. So I have seen certain questions related to temperature, conductivity, the boiling melting point, right? Then the temperature, Celsius and the Fahrenheit. So all these things comes under thermometer or the temperature portion, right? So that's why I thought that I shall discuss this with you. So after watching this video, your all doubt related to temperature, related to thermometer will be cleared. So you know that thermometer is a device which we use to measure the temperature of anything, any given material or substance, right? How many types of thermometers are there? There are two types of thermometer: clinical thermometer, and then we have the laboratory thermometer. Now you will think, like, why do we use clinical thermometer and why do we use laboratory thermometer, right? What is the difference? So that is what we want to talk about in this video. You have to know what is the difference. Why do we use clinical thermometer for clinical purpose and why do we use laboratory thermometer for laboratory purpose, right? Suppose this is your clinical thermometer. So now you have to understand what is the range, like how much can it measure, right? So this clinical thermometer has a range from, alright, it can measure the temperature only 34 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, alright. And what is the normal temperature of human body? That you should comment in the comment section, alright. What degree do we have as normal human body temperature? Tell me. And what is the room temperature? I'm asking you two different questions. The first one is, what is the normal human body temperature? The next one is, what is the normal room temperature? So you should comment these two answers in the comment section, alright. So now you see clinical thermometer has a range from 34 degree to 42 degree. Remember, this is very important. Why do we use this clinical thermometer? So we use this clinical thermometer to measure the body temperature of the human beings. Now where do we put this thermometer? We put these thermometers in our mouth below our tongue, right? Why? Because that area has a high concentration of heat, right? So whenever we get fever, So under the mouth, if we put, it can measure the temperature accurately. And at the same time, there is another place where we put this thermometer. That is what? That is under the armpit, right? Under the armpit. Inside the thermometer, what do we have? We have a metal, or we have a liquid, that is called what? That is called the mercury. What is that? That is called the mercury. This is very, very important. So inside this thermometer, you'll see something like a liquid. It goes up, the mercury goes up with higher temperature of the body, and it comes down with lower temperature of the body. All right, so what is that metal which is used inside the thermometer? That is mercury. Formula is Hg. This is very, very important. Let me draw the mouth of this thermometer once again. Suppose this is the thermometer, right? So this is the thermometer. So what happens is that here there is a kink, right? This is the mercury. Mercury is under this pipe, right? Mercury is under this pipe. So there is a kink. This is called kink, K-I-N-K, or you can also call it as a bend. So what is the use of this kink, or what is the use of this bend? So the use of this band is that when you are putting the thermometer in your mouth, the temperature it measures, right? But whenever you're taking it out, the mercury level falls down, because the temperature inside your tongue is more as compared to the room temperature, right? So it can show you incorrect readings of your fever or of your body temperature. So that's why the function of this kink band of mercury is to give you the accurate temperature of your body. So now you understood, right? How does a clinical thermometer functions? What are its contents, and how can we make use of it? Right now, let us talk about the laboratory thermometer. Most commonly, you will see, suppose you are science students, so in your laboratory, in your school or in your higher secondary or in your colleges, you will see the laboratory thermometer in your labs, right? Now, what is the measure, or what is the range of this laboratory thermometer? So now let me tell you, this is very important. All right, listen carefully. So the range of laboratory thermometer is from -10 to 110 degree Celsius. All right, so this is the range of what? Range of laboratory thermometer. Now there must be a question coming in your mind, right? Before that, this is how a clinical thermometer look like. Suppose this is the thermometer. So it has a range from -10 to 110 degree Celsius, right? Now here is a mercury, right? Mercury, the metal, the liquid metal. But here there is no kink or band. There is no kink or no band in clinical thermometer. It is straight. But when you have studied about the clinical thermometer, there was a mercury and there was a kink, like this band was there, right? So a kink was there. Now in laboratory thermometer, there is no kink. So what does it mean? It means that you can use the laboratory thermometer for measuring your body temperature. You can use it, no issue. But then, since there is no kink, there is no band there, so what happens, the moment you take out the thermometer, the laboratory thermometer from your mouth, the temperature will decline, right? But as you have seen in clinical thermometer, there is a band or there is a kink which do not allow the mercury to fall down, right? Suddenly the mercury will not fall down, slowly it will go down, but it will stay stable so that you can get the accurate reading of your temperature. But whenever you are using the laboratory thermometer, since there is no band, there is no kink, so the mercury level suddenly comes down, which have the possibility or high chances of giving you inaccurate results. All right, so this is the reason we don't use a laboratory thermometer for clinical purpose. Another question, then can we use clinical thermometer in laboratory? No. Why? Because of course the clinical thermometer will work up to 42 degree, right? It can measure up to 42 degree. But the moment the temperature goes, suppose you are boiling water and you are putting the clinical thermometer in that boiling water, then up to 42 degree it will come in, the mercury level will rise, alright, but suddenly what will happen, it will burst, the thermometer will break. Why? Because it can measure only up to 42 degrees Celsius. It cannot measure beyond that. Alright, 100 degrees Celsius is very far, right? So it cannot measure that. So that thermometer will burst. So that's why we cannot use clinical thermometer in laboratory, and because there is no kink, we cannot use laboratory thermometer in clinical purposes. Alright, that's why, my dear friends, you try to remember these basic things about the thermometer. So let us summarize, alright, what we have learned today. So we have learned that thermometer is a device which is used to measure the temperature, and there are two types of thermometer, that is clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. So clinical thermometer is used for medical purposes and laboratory thermometer is used in the labs. Now there is a difference between the clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer. There is a kink or a band you find in clinical thermometer and there is no band in laboratory thermometer. We cannot use laboratory thermometer for clinical purpose and we cannot use clinical thermometer for laboratory purpose. Alright, we cannot use them. Now the metal contained in the thermometer is mercury, right, which you can see as a red line inside the thermometer. Now what is the normal temperature range of clinical thermometer? It is 34 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. And what about the laboratory thermometer? It is from minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. So remember, this range is very important. And the question I asked you in the beginning to comment down in the comment section, what is the normal body temperature? So the normal body temperature of the human being is 37 degrees Celsius, right? And the normal room temperature is 25 degrees Celsius. Alright, so these are very important questions which you should remember as teachers in the class and also for various TET, MTET, CTET, AWS, KVS examinations. It will be a point if you can remember this. Alright, so I hope you understood something about thermometer today. So wish you all the best and thank you for staying connected with Ashok Tutorials, Meghalaya's first MTET channel. And yes, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to share it with your friends. And if you are new to this channel, Ashok Tutorials, then don't forget to subscribe to the Ashok Tutorials. And yes, of course, don't forget to press that notification button, because as soon as we upload the video, you will be the first one to receive the notification that a new video has been uploaded. Right, so you will not miss anything out. So thank you everyone for watching.